get pneumonia and a boogie woogie blue. Want some loving, baby, that ain't all. I wanna kiss her, but the gal's too tall.
We don't have an intro. I was wondering if there are people who believe that our podcast doesn't exist.
Because we don't have an intro?
No, because it's COVID related. Like clearly,
I didn't. Okay, I see what you're
if
saying.
COVID is fake, then
Right, then our podcast
then
is
COVideos can't exist either.
Yeah.
So as far as like the ongoing life of the show, like I've just been thinking about rebranding.
Yeah.
Not getting an intro or anything like that. But
Well, never. What are you thinking about rebranding to?
well, it's funny because this was just meant to help people. Mostly the two people doing it, but anybody else within earshot, just get over this year and what's going on. And because this year continues to be this year.
Yes, very much so.
I feel like if we want to keep doing it, we either have to, give it a more general identity so it can survive. Mm-hmm. If we all survive. Mm-hmm. Maybe like Apocalypse Cinema or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Happier, cheerier.
Yeah.
Brighter
right.
than that.
Right.
Or we just double
apocalypses.
down and it's just like, 2020 in movies as a joke because 2020 movies in 2020 have been a joke.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
then December, 31st, 11:59, we go off the air and it doesn't come back.
It's just a
because it was never meant to last forever.
It's just a single I
Take
can't
time.
talk. Signal, just like a tone, just like a dial tone or something like that, or like a doo or something like that when we go off the air.
What?
We go off the air and there's just a noise and anyway.
No, it becomes a number station.
A number station?
43, 8, 27.
What is that from?
51. 47, 3.
Was that a real thing?
Look, Wikipedia number stations.
Okay, I know weather station is weird.
Or just, remember that you watched Lost. But just but compartmentalize it. Just remember the numbers part.
Okay.
And forget all the other bullshit.
All right.
Hey! We're here to talk about films.
Yes!
And try to be as non-cynical as possible.
We try.
That's the best that we can say. I said as possible.
You sure did.
Maybe that's it.
I think that maybe that's it. In 2020, that's the most we can ask
but
for.
To that end, we, talked about, or we're going to talk about, a pair of films that are comedies or musical comedies from that time when America was great. I've heard a lot about this time.
Yeah, well...
Hey, if you disagree with me, you don't believe in this show anyway, right? So let's get right into it. You lost, or won the toss.
I won.
As
Thank you
always.
very much.
So, what was your film?
My film was Some Like It Hot.
Others, not so much.
Others, not so much.
Klingons and their revenge. They want it cold.
Yeah.
I never really understood that, except for it just sounds cool. Sounds like something.
Revenge is a dish best served
something
cold.
Khan would say. Because, don't you think for most
sounds
Klingons,
cool.
revenge is a dish best served immediately while still alive?
Yes.
Maybe there's
there's the plotting element.
Maybe there's a
gotta
first
make it
part
perfect.
that's kind of lost. Really, Klingons, big plotters.
I can see it.
First, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm going to say, hey, this is cinema, right? That's okay. We talked about Khan. Now I'm going to talk about the Thomas Jane Punisher film, where it's like, remember how the Punisher? What do you know about the Punisher? Elevator opens, he shoots like 40 samurai, right, with a machine gun.
He kills a lot of people.
But what if not? What if he put a grand plan together to get John Travolta to kill all of his men for him, and then he drags him very slowly behind a Buick and blows him up at the end of the movie or something? What if it was that?
That's a revenge best served cold, if you ask me.
Yeah,
But it
weird,
doesn't sound like the Punisher's way.
weird angle for the Punisher.
Yeah,
but there are
right.
some people who really like that film. Not
Did
me.
he wear shoes in that film? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Sorry,
he
I always,
probably-
whenever I think of Thomas Jane, I always think of the shoes or lack thereof.
There's so many things to think about.
With Thomas Jane, or
People love his little hat on The Expanse, but he just wears hats.
I like his little
I think
hat,
he
too.
probably talked them into the hat.
Oh, probably.
No, it's like I'm a detective and everything. It's like, okay, sure.
I
And
think
then
you hire Thomas Jane, you get the whole affectation of Thomas Jane.
yeah, and he doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah.
And his kids, he bought his kids serval cats.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like
Gosh,
the
yeah, you like
wild
serval
cats that
yeah.
are like, well, I want one because they're like a dog-sized cat.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you told me he owned a giraffe, like I couldn't, I just believe you.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. Anyway, Some Like It Hot, starring Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and Marilyn Monroe from 1959.
Yes.
I'll give the synopsis. It is the Roaring *20s, and
Yes.
two speakeasy musicians are trying to escape a raid. They're broke. They are going to grab a car and go to a gig that they've got.
Yes.
But they witness a massacre based on the real-life Valentine's Day massacre, basically.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
All right.
this is the funniest movie that starts with a septuple homicide.
Yeah, well, I know, right?
A lot of violence in this film. We'll
There
get to it.
is.
And so they're on the run from that, and to do that, they also heard about another offer. They're out of work musicians.
Yeah.
They heard about an offer for 2 spots in a girls' band.
Yes.
So they decide to cross-dress and join the girls' band.
Yes.
They do. They meet Marilyn Monroe, who is the singer/ukulele player for the band.
Yes.
Named Sugar Cane.
Yeah.
And they both kind of fall in love with her. They get to the resort, and there's a lot of
hijinks.
You, me, he, she hijinks.
Yes.
Then eventually the gangsters, completely randomly, because we got to bring that plot back.
I know.
Also end up at the hotel, and so they're trying to get away from them. And yeah, a lot of hijinks.
A lot of hijinks.
What you think?
I actually really enjoyed this film. I was like going into it, I was kind of like, a film in which 2 male actors playing male characters cross-dress as women. Is this going to be sensitive? Is this going to age well? And I gotta say, I think honestly, overall, I think it aged pretty well. Like, all things considered. I don't think it's homophobic at all.
There's no gay people in it.
I know, but like,
But I mean, like they're
put in certain situations.
cross-dressing or whatever
Yeah.
is not equated with
No,
anything like that.
no, it's not.
Probably because they couldn't get away with it with the Hays Code, but but that's not even really. It's weird because that's all that stuff, quote unquote, sexual deviancy.
Right,
One of the things
right.
that made us not great. It gets lumped into one thing, by
Yes.
ignorant writers and movie producers, but it's not even brought up. It's not even a part of it.
No, it's not.
No.
And this has a lot of this is like really great situation comedy film. Like, they're put in these really weird situations, and it just they the way that they play it out and the situation that they're in, it's funny. Like I think a large percentage of the jokes land and are still funny, and there's a lot of really great. I think there's some great physical comedy in it as well. I don't know. I think it's fun. I think overall, I think it's really fun.
Say fun or funny one more goddamn time.
Okay. But I mean, for a movie that starts out with a mass murder,
Yeah.
like you said, and it's like,
and the murders aren't over.
no,
Like,
I know.
They will
and then
continue.
It's like, well,
No, it actually starts out with with the gangsters in a hearse.
yes,
Protecting a coffin that's full of booze because that's
Yes.
their racket. And then the cops who, they have a reasonable suspicion that these guys are involved in something, but they just like open up on them. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess America is still great.
yeah.
And there's just like this gigantic firefight between the two of them. So yeah, And then later on, near the end, when George Raft and his guys just get blown away.
I know.
It's weird because in any other movie, this would be like bloodless violence, and somebody would talk about rubbing somebody out, but we wouldn't see like the gangsters do horrible things necessarily, so they can be like comedic foils as well. They can get in on the fun, and they do get in on the fun, but they viciously murder 7 guys and a garage attendant,
yes,
and then are viciously murdered themselves later on,
yes,
but are like funny throughout the whole thing for the most part. I mean, George Raft doesn't do comedy really, but the guy with the face is great.
Which one is he? One of his guys?
Oh, they're all like
character
hunks
actors.
of meat, but but the one guy with the face.
He's got a very distinct face. He's got a voice.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember if I know his name, but but he was great. But of course, they're all viciously shot to death.
Yeah. Well, I love it too. So it's like this meeting of like gangs from all around the country, and it's like, and the organization is called like Lovers of Italian Opera or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And like so, and then I love like. It's kind of a bit part, really, but like the guy who's the president of the club or the organization, he was this bald guy, and he's got like this hearing aid sort of thing,
which I thought was kind of anachronistic. I guess I don't know the history of hearing aid technology.
I don't
but
either.
Some people had the horns at some point, right? The ear horn?
Yeah.
So like I can believe in 1959 you'd have a radio unit.
It seems a little early
but
for that for 1929, doesn't it?
But it doesn't. It's a good bit though.
It is a good bit. And like he's really funny, and like he's talked about how he elected himself 10 years ago to the position,
right,
and he's like, and I gotta say, you made the
right choice. We made over $127 million before taxes. We didn't pay no taxes.
And the leads in this are all great. I just all really, really great. Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon are hilarious. Marilyn Monroe is hilarious also. And is it really her singing?
That's a good question. I mean, I know that she could sing, but she wasn't a very strong singer necessarily. We don't do research on the show. Maybe that'll change someday.
The songs.
If you told me it was, I could believe it, but I think it probably wasn't.
The 2 songs that her character sings in the film are real standouts. Like there are a couple other songs throughout the film, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a musical per se.
Well, yeah.
It kind of is. It's musical adjacent, I guess.
Well, musical comedy.
Yeah. But of course, I Want to Be Loved by You. Everybody knows that song. Great song. And then I can't remember what the second one is now.
I'm Through with Love.
I'm Through with Love. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, really entertaining. I love how Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis are trying to act like women. They change their voices and the way they walk and everything.
It's like it's a whole nother sex.
I know. I like how Jack Lemmon laughs as a woman.
Well, he does it quite a bit.
He does do it quite a bit.
One of the reasons that this, I think, works so well, and this is the second Jack Lemmon film we've done on the show, right?
I think so, yeah. The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple before. Is this our first? No, we did Double Indemnity, so it's not our first Billy Wilder, but it's our first out-and-out Wilder comedy. It works because the humor is timeless in that they're just doing. It's clever and it's based on what's going on. There's a couple references like Diamond Joe Brady or whatever it is. It's like, okay,
I don't know who that is.
I can just figure out who that is through context, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's just funny because it's working off of the circumstances that they're in, and it's. I'll say right off the bat, they weren't going to spend a dime on credits because the credits are just like a 50s TV show.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's who's in it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Start the movie.
And then at the end, it just says the end.
Yeah. But, it's over.
Go home.
but yeah, like just putting them in the situation and then letting the lines and the comments build and the double entendres and everything, and it just continues to work.
Well, and I think it's pretty great too. Like Tony Curtis, Sugar, who's Marilyn Monroe's character, says to Josephine, who is Tony Curtis's woman. Complicated, right? That like
wait till he becomes Shell Oil Jr.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was getting to. Like that she's gonna fall in love with a millionaire, and she thinks that men with glasses are less threatening, and it's just like
there's
what?
A dark undercurrent.
I know
of people getting coleslaw thrown in their face.
I know
in her backstory.
I know, but it's like. That's like another layer of comedy, right? Because now he's dressing up pretending to be somebody else. Yeah. And it's like, and then the way he just comes up with it, it's just a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. But then what I think works so well about that scene when those characters first meet, where him and Marilyn Monroe's character first meet, is that she's also lying.
Oh yeah, everybody,
and it's another lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. So it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, there are no real angels in this film, and I like the fact that it starts off as a triangle, but then I don't know if you believe Tony Curtis more as a romantic lead than Jack Lemmon in the late 50s, maybe. But that falls away, and we put Lemmon into the thing with. What's his name?
Oh, what is his name?
Well, Osgood is the character's name.
Osgood,
but,
yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name. And so they could have kept going on with the because the thing could have been because it could have been like one of those. I'm trying to think of a better example than This Means War, but a thing where now they both have something on each other, so they're both trying to sabotage each other. There's a little bit of that, but then it just falls away, and Jack Lemmon ends up just going off with Osgood and.
I know.
He proposed to me. It's like, you can't do that. Oh no, we've all made mistakes. But he's trying to buttonhole. Because when you think about it, this is just like gaslighting the movie, basically, right?
Pretty much.
Like up to the point where and it's all just suggested. We don't know what happened on the yacht, but we can make our own assumptions, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, oh boy, let me do the ultimate negging by saying, yeah, girls don't do anything for me. It's like, oh, can I try? Nah, that was all right.
I know. I know, right?
It's kind of like sick when you think about it.
I guess you're right.
But this aged really well, though.
For the most part, I said for the most part. There was a caveat.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best that 1959 could do for a theme of just leave these girls alone, like all the men in the movie are predatory, the ones that aren't like machine gunning people to the ground.
Right.
And even somebody like the Osgood character or Oswald, whatever his name is.
I think it's Osgood.
We meet him when he pinches he pinches Jack Lemmon.
I know.
A Daphne in the elevator.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a great bit because the arrow goes up and then boop.
Yeah.
And then comes back down and what kind of girl do you take me for? Joey Brown. That's who that is.
Okay. Yeah, he did a good job too.
So yeah, we could just sit through and go through every little bit of dialogue and every gag, and we'll do it now. The one thing I know about this movie, the one behind the scenes story that I know, and I think every single one of these is going to be every time that you have some classic film with a breakout performance by a female actress and an actor, you're going to get some story about how, oh boy, she was the worst. Oh boy, what's wrong with this Debbie Reynolds or whatever? Nothing.
Yeah, right.
But apparently Tony Curtis didn't like working with Marilyn Monroe.
Did he? Why?
And
was she difficult to work with somehow?
Well, throughout her entire career, supposedly, yes.
Okay.
I think she had a lot in common with Sugar Cane sometimes.
A lot of drinking.
But he famously remarked that kissing her was like kissing Hitler.
Whoa.
And my first question is, you kissed Hitler? You on like a tour in Europe or something like that? But it's like, what? Why?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's one of the meanest things I've ever heard. Okay.
But he's just like, yes, I kissed Marilyn Monroe. This is the biggest sex symbol in the world, remember? She was
I know.
huge.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yeah, I kissed her. Yeah, this is a kiss her. Tony Curtis, a perfect, amazing human being.
I just think of, this is so random, but whenever I think of Tony Curtis, I think this might have been my first interaction with him was, do you remember how he's referenced in Clueless? Like,
No.
Cher's friend, what's his name? Her friend that she has a crush on, but it turns out he's gay. I can't remember his name. He brings over...
Oh, yeah.
He's a big Tony Curtis fan.
Yes.
And he brings over Some Like It Hot, and she says, Sporadicus.
Okay.
And that's what I remember. And, like, she's trying to put the moves on her friend the entire time, and, like, he's just like, okay, let's... And then he ends up leaving, and it's really awkward, but yeah. Anyways, Clueless, everybody.
It'll be on the show someday. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the background of this film so much. I know that the first time I watched it, because I watched this a long time ago when I was aspiring to be a film fan or a film buff.
Yeah.
I remember not liking it all that much.
Okay. Did you like it better this time around?
A lot better.
Yeah.
Which is good, because now
That is
I'm
good.
more right than I was. But I don't know what it was that didn't really, that didn't grab me.
Is it the mood you were in or something?
Yeah,
or?
maybe. There are definitely things that I think that this could be. I think it could be better.
Sure.
With somebody like as good as Billy Wilder, the leads as good as they are, there are things that get picked up and dropped, and
Not every joke lands. Yeah.
very few of them don't land.
Yeah, that's
But I
true.
just mean like in terms of the story, and it's a movie. Because it's not just you want to watch a comedian do a 90-minute routine. That's
Yeah.
one thing, but like
Right.
there's things that kind of get picked up. The intense violence of the frame story that you totally forget about, and it's not really
Yeah,
even part of the
right.
film. And it's not like we're cutting back to Chicago.
No.
They just suddenly show up again,
Wait, and I
they just
laughed
happen
when they
to
showed
be
up. Yeah.
having their. I mean, I guess the mobsters are having their convention or whatever
Yep.
in Florida. It's fine, but I don't know. It's the tiniest little picks, but the movie is so it's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. I just feel like a couple little tweaks and it could be
Yeah.
totally perfect.
I understand what you're saying. I just thought of something else. What's the name of the lady who runs the band and
Sue,
Sweet Sue
Sweet
or something,
Sue?
and
Yeah.
then the manager guy. They have this conversation on the train, like something is off with those girls, and he says, "I'm going to keep my eye on them."
No, they never
That's
find out
completely
anything.
dropped.
Yeah, that's it.
And I didn't think about that until just now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's not that important, but it would have been great if that had come back.
Yeah.
I also, one of my favorite scenes is the scene on the train with all the girls. Sugar comes over to Daphne's bunk to thank her for helping her out earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a drink together. And then
And we
other
do-
girls wake up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
join them in the bunk, and it's hilarious. So it's
God,
like,
come on, 13 girls are bad luck. 12 of you have to get out.
exactly.
Yeah.
More stuff like that. Like, what if more the girls were involved more? I mean, I know it's not really their movie; they're not the leads, but it would
Yeah.
have been nice to have them pop in and out every once in a while.
Yeah, it's and I don't think that it's because it's sloppy. I just think
No.
that they were, doing everything they could with what they had, and they were coming up with funny things, and not necessarily thinking like, well, what if this, but it's fine. Like
Yeah.
I said, there's a quintuple murder in the last 20 minutes.
I know.
That's played for laughs, but
Yes.
I don't know how they felt in the late 50s about the Scarface-y times. And, of course, George Raft is in this as stunt casting, having the little bit with the guy flipping the coin. He's
Yeah.
like, where'd you learn that trick?
Yeah.
But it's set, in the Valentine's Day Massacre type thing. And then you've got Shell Oil. And all this is
Yeah.
taking place in the winter
Yes.
of 1929.
Yes.
Of course, in October of 1929, things would
Stock
change.
market will crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything you can do or you want to do with that, but I don't know. It just seems like it's about characters who are losers, but they want to be like winners and on top. And so, I don't know.
I know. I mean, they do like say some things about the stock.
Yeah.
And like they kind of
I mean, 60 years gone by. Is there anything you want to try to do to fix like an almost perfect movie?
Yeah, right.
But
I know.
yes, the answer is yes. What else? Any closing thoughts about it? I mean, I can't believe that we are kind of having trouble talking about it, but like I said, it speaks for itself.
It's funny. It's hilarious. I think it's kind of funny. Like, so, Jack Lemmon is a bassist, and his bass gets shot up in the Valentine's Day Massacre, and we don't actually. They talk about the holes in it, but we don't actually see them until later while they're on the train as the girls and they're playing, and we see them, and it's like 4 or 5 holes in like a diagonal.
Yeah.
It's just a nice like visual thing it's very comedic. So I thought that was great. I was wondering, like, the last night they're at the last night of the movie, they're at the hotel and they're trying to run away from the gangsters because they're now witness to Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis are now witness to another mass murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice in one movie.
That's something else. Completely unresolved from a criminal standpoint. They're going to take off on a yacht, and they're still like wanted for questioning in two mass murders.
Now. Yeah. So they had been trying to escape the guys that had gotten killed before. So I don't even remember what number disguise they were in, but they were. Tony Curtis was like an old man, and
there
Jack
are two
Lemmon,
unconscious people somewhere.
Yeah, and Jack Lemmon was the bellboy, but he had his heels on still because he didn't have the shoes didn't fit him. I guess the bellboy's shoes didn't fit him, which was a nice, funny touch. But then they're like running around again. And they run upstairs, and then they come down in the elevator dressed as the girls, and they come down in the elevator way faster than it would have been. To,
there's a couple funny quick changes.
But it's funny because it's like, okay, how many quick changes is this? You know, so I don't know. I think it works.
It does. Somebody someday will try to remake it with the whitest kids you know or something like that, and we'll know then that we are actually in the bowels of hell. But
no.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
A lot of I've like I said, I saw this a long time ago, and then I feel like I've been reading about this for the last 20 years on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like criticism and
okay. What are people saying?
Interpretation.
Yeah.
And it's mostly about the gay themes underneath that I'm not sure are there, but you can have a modern reading of anything. And a lot of people focus on the Joey Brown and Jack Lemmon scene at the end, where they're
the very end.
All this stuff. So I won't fit into her dress. We can have it altered. Well, not in your life. And just like, oh, well, maybe there's a gay reading to that. And it's like, it's probably just like a bump 50s humor.
That's kind of what I think it is.
But I'm open to
it too.
A modern reading.
But it's kind of like I almost think the expression on Jack Lemmon's face is like, I can't break up.
Well, the only problem is her mother, but it's not a problem. I don't smoke.
I know. I actually really appreciated that. I thought that was really great, and it wasn't. That's what I'm talking about when I'm specifically, I guess, when I'm saying it wasn't homophobic. Like Tony Curtis is like trying to gently remind Jack Lemmon that you're a guy,
you're a boy,
and you're And I guess at this time it wouldn't have even been like that, and you're not gay.
Right, but then fire up the, which website do I pick on?
I don't know.
Nylon. Fire up the Nylon articles about, Jack Lemmon is, he's repressed homosexuality or
right.
I don't know.
I want to know what happened in that night, though, that, like, he decided, I'll marry this guy. He was, like, so annoyed, and, like, this guy, like, pinched him. He hated it. It was a horrible experience. Like, he didn't want to stand
we got to
him.
stop talking about this, but there's an arc that starts out, it's very small, where he's the one who, I don't know why Tony Curtis is so comfortable in heels. Let's look into that. Where's the Nylon article about that? But Jack Lemmon is the one that's like, oh, this peels, and I don't know how they wear these clothes and everything.
Yeah,
and then
it's
on the
true.
train, he's like, I'm a girl, I want to die, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, he's like, he's having fun. It's like, yeah, it's fun to play with maracas and, dance, Cuban dance and everything. And, at the core of it is, I'm going to scam this guy for alimony. Once I blackmail him that I'm a man.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, so that's why I don't think that there is a necessarily
I see
deeper
what you're
read.
saying.
But
yeah.
Go for it, Nylon, if you want
Yeah,
to. That's
go
3
for it.
nylons. Let's move on to my movie. I
Yes.
picked a different movie than this one.
That's how it works.
It's called A Vamp. I picked 1957's Funny Face.
Yes.
Starring Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire.
Yes.
Directed by Stanley Donen. And do you want to give us the synopsis of that?
Yes. So, excuse me. We
Wow.
start off.
Do you want a bicarb?
Yeah, maybe. We start off the movie and
Oh, boy.
I don't. Okay,
We're going
maybe
scene
I'll
by scene.
Maybe I'll skip that part. Fred Astaire is a photographer. He largely does fashion shoots, and he
only does fashion.
only does fashion shoots
'Cause
It pays
landscapes don't sell.
Yeah, right. And he, I don't know if he exclusively works, but he does a lot of work for a women's magazine,
Quality.
Quality. That's run by this lady. I can't remember her name now. The character's name.
Yeah.
But she's very particular and everything. But anyways, he's doing this photo shoot, and this model is supposed to be intellectual, and it just isn't working. So they decide they're going to find a drab bookshop to do the photo shoot in. They get there, and who's working there but Audrey Hepburn, and she's like this mousy intellectual girl, as mousy as Audrey Hepburn can be. And
I want to do a breakdown, and maybe some of our fans could do this. Show us the breakdown. Show us how much of your segment is taken up with the recap, or at least up until. Let's project the recap out past the point where I complain about how long the recap is going, and how much my segment is, and how much discussion we get to do in my segments.
how much time did that take up just now?
You're not out of the first act. A young,
Okay,
mousy,
anyways, a young woman
that works at a bookstore is discovered by a photographer and becomes a fashion model, and she must deal with her commitment to her beatnik ideals and the lure of the glitz of being a model in Paris. Also, they're 30 years apart in age. The end.
Okay.
Whoa, sorry, was that not fun?
No.
Look, people don't believe in us. They don't believe we're real. We have to prioritize our time.
Okay. All right. Let's continue.
Now, I'll let you do the stage singing of all the songs from the film that you wanted to do, so go ahead.
No, I don't want to do a stage.
How long has this been going on?
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, start.
No,
Oh, no, we got to start with Think Pink. This is my segment. I didn't like this.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like this all that much.
Okay.
Did we talk about Charade on this show?
Yes, we did.
Oh, so this is our second Stanley Donen and our second Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
I feel like these people are going to show up a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe not Donen unless we do Seven Brides or something like that. But yeah, we're going to see Audrey Hepburn a lot. Mm-hmm. See Jack Lemmon a lot.
Yeah.
Probably Billy Wilder a lot too. I was not blown away by this, and when you look into the history and you realize that this is, you know, I can't. When did the Gershwins die? Not that I want to. not that I want to
Wow.
track it super closely.
No.
But this is the Gershwins probably on sort of the tail end, or the middle to late part of their career.
Yeah.
Essentially reviving a musical that they did 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Funny Face was a musical in the 20s that Fred Astaire was in. But it has nothing to do with this. It's about jewel thieves or something like that. They took the title and the star and just did an entirely new
That's so weird.
film. Yeah.
I do not think the songs are very strong.
Yeah, it just feels
They're
like warmed
weak
over
sauce.
Gershwins.
Yeah.
To me.
And I like the Gershwins.
And speaking of gaslighting, oh boy.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, so I have a theory. Mm-hmm. And I don't like this theory, but
Go ahead.
theories are built from observation of the evidence and the data. all musicals seem to be based on some kind of deception, don't they? Or some kind of coercion or pushing past some woman's boundaries.
Yep.
There has to be
consent.
There has to be a no. What?
I said consent.
Yeah, all right.
I yelled
Thanks
consent.
for screaming. You're a real ally.
Yeah.
Shut
up.
I just like somebody has to go like, I don't want this, and then I sing a song about how you do, and it's like, oh, maybe I want this.
Yeah,
and
I
this
know.
is a story
and it's always
about
the women who doesn't.
This is
want
a story
it, yeah.
That mocks intellectuals.
Yes.
Intellectuals are another reason that we're not great anymore. But this is a story that mocks like a young idealistic woman's
ideals,
intellectual ideals.
Yeah.
And thank God she gets married and there's birds at the end.
Well, she doesn't actually get married.
No, hopefully like Fred falls off the thing and drowns, right? Because she's going to have a good 15, maybe 20 years with him before he kicks off.
I know.
I looked for anecdotes, didn't look too hard, but I looked for anecdotes about Fred Astaire saying that she was, a C word that couldn't dance or something like that. But I don't know if Fred was nice or not. I just know that every time we do a musical, there's a story about how the male star is like, this piece of shit. I didn't find anything.
I don't know that I've heard anything about Fred Astaire being difficult to work with or not. I don't know. But
I've heard him complain about Ginger Rogers, right?
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway, neither here nor there. Let's be ignorant as long as we can be funny about it. That's always been my motto.
Okay.
I have a bronzed pillow with that on it.
A bronzed pillow?
I wanted to be double sure that I preserved it. And so anyway, but that being said, Fred choreographed the whole thing.
Okay.
And his dances are great.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Toreador dance is a big highlight.
Which one is that?
The bullfighter dance.
Oh, the bullfighter dance. Yes, I like the weird beatnik dance in the club.
Well, thanks for stealing my thunder because that was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was great.
Like she's great.
Yeah.
And I know that she's Audrey Hepburn, but I mean, when you think about somebody like the Debbie Reynolds situation, or just like a young starlet, going up against these dance gods, sure, you can. I don't know how many takes they did, but she's fantastic.
She holds her own,
and I know that the movie is making fun of beatnik culture for the most part, but you wouldn't see that in a normal thing. It would be, now let's climb up a ladder. Oh, now let's, I'm just going to do all the singing in the rain stuff. Now let's hold on to a light post. Now let's fall over a couch. When are you going to see a crazy beatnik dance in a club? Yeah, in this movie. So I'll give it points for that. But for the most part, I don't know. I mean, it's a classic because it's lasted this long, but I don't think it was really a success at the box office either.
Oh, I don't know. This is probably besides the wedding dress scenes, probably some of the most iconic parts of the film are when he's singing to her in the dark room. Those shots when he's making the very large photos of her face, and then at the end when he takes the negative out and it's just bright light on her actual face in front of where the photo paper usually is. I mean, that's cool. I thought that the opening song was kind of fun. I didn't think it was super great, but I thought it was kind of fun. I actually enjoyed so there's this philosopher that Audrey Hepburn's character really likes, and he's French, and she gets to meet him, and then there's this rift that happens between her and Fred Astaire's character, and she's now she's hanging out with this philosopher guy, and he's really worried about her, and also they need her to come back to do the fashion show and stuff like that because all of the outfits are designed and tailored to her. Anyways, they're him and the other female lead. I can't remember her name right now.
Which name? Maggie is the character's name. Kay Thompson is the
Kay Thompson.
Is the actress' name.
They do this weird song and dance thing that goes on for really
Clap
long.
Your Hands.
Yeah.
Which insensitive in the 20s. Perhaps more so 30 years later, but a barn burner though.
Entertaining.
Kate Thompson was my favorite part of the film.
She was great.
She's a fantastic.
Yeah.
And every time she did another song or something like that, it was like, oh, let's have a lot more of her. They're doing. see the whole thing could have been it's sort of like Some Like It Hot. Like it was like 95% like comic mishaps and them getting involved in scrapes and having to get out.
Yeah.
And I thought that they could have pushed it that extra 5%. This is like 40% that, and I felt like there could have been more situations that they got themselves in.
I agree.
When they're in the thing and they go to the beatnik party, and now after having criticized the movie, I'm gonna now laugh at all the jokes making fun of beatniks. But they go to the party and the lady's singing about like, oh, she's gonna kill herself, and he's like, oh boy, you know, this horrible song, and they're like. And so they've disguised themselves as the Floridians who were going to come to this thing.
Yeah.
So they get the real Floridians show up. They get them kicked out, and they're like, "Well, it takes care of that." And they're like, "Monsieur and Mrs., you must now perform." And like, "Oh, we got to perform." So they're like, and somehow now, like the editor of this Vogue magazine is just like, bam, 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 just knocking it out on the piano. But yeah, they burned the house down. And the whole thing is like, the premise is dumb because they need to get up the stairs, but they're only allowed to go up the stairs when they're exiting
Once they
at the end of their song.
Yeah.
But that being said, like it's a great number, even though it's really kind of silly.
It really is.
And that was like a weird contrivance that was funny, and I just thought there would be more contrivances. Also, the fact that like Professor Floster is like. I thought that, so I guess the only thing that's wrong with him is that he wants to bone Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
And that's like Fred Astaire's point the entire time. He's like, he doesn't care about this philosophy. He wants to bone you. It can't be both.
Yeah, right.
I thought he would be revealed to be more of a con man. Because, after he gets hit in the head, he starts, speaking in just in like New York English or something like that.
Yeah, right.
He's a fake the whole time.
That would have made more sense.
But apparently, he's just a horny professor that they double assaulted, which is fine. But and he's the proponent of what empathicity or whatever is his Dianetics. But then the movie does lamely try to make a point about like empathy.
It does,
which
I don't know that it totally pulls it off.
No, I don't. I mean, is lack of empathy Fred Astaire's real problem?
He's got a lot of problems.
Yeah,
he kisses Audrey Hepburn without her consent twice.
Well, all right. If we're just gonna get over that for now, because it's a '50s movie, he also kisses her when there's nothing in the movie to suggest that there is any spark of anything between them.
I know.
And then she has to sing the "I Feel a Spark" song, and it's like
I know.
I don't believe
and then
it.
like the second time after he kisses her, he sings a song about like let's not break up, let's make let's make up or whatever. Or we're better together. We're a union, whatever. I'm like, you're not even dating yet. What is with this song? It seems like this song should come later in the movie, or like it was written and then they like didn't know how to fit it in, so they're like, we'll just put it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the thing that really bothered me was like when after they did decide that they liked each other and that they were going to start dating or whatever, she meets the philosopher guy and is talking to him, and like Fred Astaire is trying to like badmouth him, and he says to her that he's about as interested in your intellect as I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, hold the phone there, Fred Astaire.
Right, but but if you are paying attention, you can do that. There are so many movies, there are so many romance stories where that's all the guy does want, and then he becomes a better person. He's fixed. He gets fixed.
Right.
And I think they're trying to do that, but they're not tracking that at all because this is just...
he never says anything at the end.
This is just
like, I love how smart you are.
This is 60-year-old Fred Astaire, and you're just coming to see him in a Gershwin jukebox musical, and so nobody really cares.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they got so many... First of all, it's in VistaVision, which they won't stop reminding us about.
It's very, very colorful. They
and
have a lot
the
of
collection
really
of people they have,
outfits.
they got the Gershwins in this, and it's about fashions. The costumes are by Edith Head, and Hepburn is dressed in Givenchy as she always is, and Richard Avedon was like a visual consultant on it. So like they're putting this whole thing together. But
a lot of people worked on it.
But it's kind of tired. I have a theory.
Yeah.
Movies set at magazines are off-putting.
Okay, why is that?
Well, first of all, I just believe that in my soul because of the movies that I've seen that are set in magazines.
What are other movies that you've seen?
We'll get there.
Okay.
But second of all, get the answer to the question you asked, then ask another question. Second of all, because magazines in general, and also movies about magazines, are always about look, superficiality.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And then they try to shovel in a moral about how that's not important.
Right.
But also, it usually involves them getting some kind of promotion or becoming the face of something. Mm-hmm. So, you got this.
What's this?
I know there's other ones. The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, right.
Which is like the non-musical version of this. 13 going on 30. Uh-huh. You do some. Oh, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Which is so confused about what it's trying to say.
Wow. I got a TV show.
Sure.
Ugly Betty.
Just Shoot Me.
Oh, Just Shoot Me, yeah.
Those are sitcoms.
Yeah.
Sitcoms are about being sitcoms.
Yeah, that's true.
You tell me those guys are physicists and they live in that apartment for 15 years. Screw you.
I know, right?
All right, well, look, maybe it's not a perfect theory. I haven't done all the experimentation yet. But they always are about, like, oh, it's important to be intellectual. And it's like, is it? Because you're just going to be in a wedding dress at the end, right?
I know. Like, what is it saying at the end? Like I think we talked about this afterwards. Like, is it saying that she gives up being an intellectual because she wants to be with this guy and she's going to
her intellectual hero was a ding-dong, and
doesn't mean she can't still have ideals.
Absolutely, but
we have no inkling of that.
It's wonderful to not read books.
This woman, this very intellectual woman who literally works in a bookstore, it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Oh, okay.
A magazine must have blood. Is something that Maggie says at the beginning of the film.
Whoa.
The girl boss. You got to think pink.
Yes.
I actually don't know how many of these songs are original and how much are just from the catalog of the Gershwins, but I guess that would be a song that you'd sing if you ran a magazine. I don't know.
Well, but then she has this line like,
banish the black, burn down the blue. I'm like, I'm really conflicted about what you just said.
Yeah, I know.
2020.
Yes, absolutely. But I was gonna say how like somebody asked her, another character who works at the magazine was like, well, why aren't you in pink? Because everybody else is in pink. They've taken all the.
I never wear
doors.
pink. Next scene,
she's wearing pink. What?
A little inconsistent.
Yeah.
Edith didn't get the note on that one. They make fun of a lady for reading a comic book.
I know.
I was like, hey, Fred, just take it easy.
Why? Because then they were like insinuating
spats.
that she was stupid because she was reading a comic book, which I don't appreciate.
Well, she didn't seem really smart, but yeah.
No, I know. But I thought that actress, even though it was a bit part, I thought she did, like, when she was, like, modeling at the bookshop, that was actually pretty funny. Like, the weird
Dovima.
little poses that she does. Oh, is she one name?
Yes. I don't know if she was...
Maybe she's an actual model.
She was an actual model.
There you go.
That's why she has one name.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was the first one name, but... she was in an episode of My Favorite Martian years later.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. So, yeah. Musical numbers, okay. I think that... what was the one that was... you gotta be happy, you gotta be nice, or how to be lovely, or
how
whatever.
To be lovely, yeah. And then like they say that you have to be happy. And
well,
have to
yeah,
be
whatever.
Jolly and
Right.
stuff like that. I know. They're always trying to be positive.
You have to be taller than 5'6".
Yeah, right.
Hey, we found somebody who's an inch shorter than Fred Astaire. You gotta be a model.
I know, right?
A fashion model.
I know.
We're going to save a lot of fabric because boop, boop, not so tall, and then like boop, very small.
Very small.
So take this dress, cut it in half.
Petite.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
Empathicalism, that's what it was.
Yeah. It was also, I thought it was like funny, but not like funny on purpose when they're like flying into Paris. They show them all like looking out the window, and it's kind of like they kind of show the plane flying over Paris. And it looks really cheesy,
like,
but then,
directly over Paris.
Directly over Paris, and then
like
they're showing the like monuments and all the things that you think of when you think of Paris.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no way the plane would fly over all of those.
Yeah, they like buzz the Champs Elysees.
Yeah, it's like what?
But yeah, so and it's Orly, right? So because
yes.
I don't think De Gaulle existed back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's a superimposed plane. It's just like a little.
Oh my gosh! and then at the end, like after her and Fred Astaire like fight.
Yeah.
They're trying to call the airport and they don't know if they've got to it or not. And then she runs to the window and she sees another really cheesy superimposed
Oh, the cheesy plane has left already.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I laughed. I didn't think it was supposed to be funny.
Bonjour Paris is a great song, but it's definitely like, oh boy, nobody saw this film, so when it came out, so it couldn't have contributed to American tourism that much, but the Great American Tourist.
Yes, I was just thinking about that.
Boy.
I was like, oh my god, what does that
boy.
mean? Like, oh, check out this idiot. He'll spend money on anything.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
I want to be in Paris all day. And you're like, oh, bonjour, welcome.
Yeah.
5 seconds later.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it's just a movie that, we watched a movie that's made in the 50s, set in the 20s, and still works today. And you've got a film made in the 57 that probably didn't even
work at the time.
Probably was too late for 57. So
I think that scene where they're at the church and she's in her wedding dress. Well, I guess both of them because it happens twice. I think they worked really hard to dress that scene and make it seem very fairy tale book like.
How'd they do the raft?
That's a really good question.
There had to be a rope like under the water, right?
Yeah, because
not only do they
control that.
Not only do they go, and she's dancing on grass and heels.
I know
they were like flat heels, but you figure so there's a path that they have to dance because the whole thing kind of goes in a round, right? Mm-hmm. I can't remember if they get back on the raft or not, but it sort of goes in a big circle that turns around. So they leave from the one part and they have to land on the next part to be in focus and to dance on the path that they've got. Mm-hmm. And I believe that Fred Astaire is good enough, and also they have to land when the dance part of the music picks up again and they start going again.
Yeah,
I believe that Fred Astaire is good enough to do it, but they you don't leave it to chance, right?
Probably not. You probably choreograph it just right and have control over that raft.
But somebody's pulling a rope to
I think so.
keep the raft going.
Oh, I just thought of something else.
Sure.
When she's singing her Spark song in the bookshop, you and I both noticed in the mirror there was a crewman's legs.
Yeah. I want to do like this is like a YouTube video or something that like posits that every crew member that you see accidentally in a reflection or in a mirror shot is Bob from Twin Peaks.
Yes! That's fantastic!
So he's just like,
he never dies.
He's everywhere.
He lives forever.
Right. Yeah. Tough to do when the actor himself is dead.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They got around it in Showtime.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because everybody was just a cheap graphic.
Yeah,
a cheap After Effects graphic.
Yeah.
I'm the tree. I'm the midget.
I know.
It began, but I'm alive. But you didn't cast me because I'm an asshole.
I know.
Well, two pretty light films.
Yeah.
Also, both hovering around the 100-minute, 110-minute mark. So,
yeah.
How do we kill 5 minutes?
I guess. Oh, I don't know. Do you know any? No. I was gonna say we can have a septuplet Valentine's Day massacre, but that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I was like, that's awful. Don't
Happy
say
Valentine's
that.
Day massacre.
So I said it anyways. We could have a ridiculous dance number
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah. Or we could just have like a pickup. Here, put this kerchief on and we'll talk about how to be lovely.
I know.
It's funny because like this wasn't a stage. I'm sure it's been turned into a stage musical, but it wasn't when it was first produced, right?
Okay, yeah.
So my thought was, like, again, just want to see Kate Thompson and Audrey Hepburn do more singing and dancing together. But
Yeah.
this is totally the song that you'd put in, while somebody's changing their costume or something, right?
Right.
But there's no costumes to change. It's a film, and both the female leads that wear all the clothes
Right.
are on stage. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw this film like a while ago, and I didn't remember it really well. I remember thinking I thought it was okay. It's not my favorite Audrey Hepburn or Fred Astaire film by any means.
yeah.
But yeah, I wish it was better. Like I wish this bless you. I wish the songs popped more. Bless you. It's kind of, like musicals are like supposed to showcase the songs, right? So it's kind of disappointing when the songs aren't that great.
Well, it's kind of disappointing when the leads aren't the best singers in the world.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Fred Astaire's a good singer. I don't think that
I think he's okay. Yeah.
He's not an amazing singer.
No. I don't know. I mean, have you ever seen? I know it's got problems, but have you ever seen Holiday Inn?
Yeah, Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. We know.
But yeah, gotta love Bing Crosby. Anyways,
I wonder if we'll do another Stanley Donen movie someday.
okay, yeah, you think so?
Well, we talked about. I mean, we did Singing in the Rain too, of course.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, it was sort of co-directed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen, but so we've covered it, Charade, and
Yeah,
I'd like to see Indiscreet. I've always heard about Indiscreet, but I've never seen it.
I don't even know what that one is.
It's Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman,
Okay.
and it's I don't know. It's a romance, but it's kind of I don't know. Well, maybe we'll watch it.
Okay.
And
And you said Seven Brides for Seven Brothers also.
yeah, which is not. That's a boy. We'll have a lot to talk about.
It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie. I saw it as when I was a kid.
I'm sorry.
It's a weird one.
Yay for childhood trauma.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to think about like what else.
Do it. Remake Funny Face.
Yeah, do it. Remake Funny Face. Make it better.
And excise. Well, there's nothing there. That's the problem. Like I was going to say, excise all the Gershwin stuff, but that's all it is. Mm-hmm. What if you did remake it and then you just got all the current talent? So it's Tom Ford and it's Vera Wang and it's modern fashion.
Sure.
I don't know, and then you cast the girl from Westworld or something.
Sure. I mean,
It's not. No, not sure.
oh, okay. What do you think of like the songs?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Come on.
what?
I'm not going where. If you wanna waste time, you gotta waste time faster than that.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
that's it. We're gonna cop out for today, and we'll be back in the future to talk about more films, and that's it. Goodbye.
Young men